it's kind of a blessing and a curse. I wasn't eligible for any of that government money you could get for businesses
Mm-hmm.
because my business actually went up during COVID.
Starting, sustaining, and having a successful small business is hard, but you already knew that. But wouldn't it be great to have a podcast that talks to and digs in to the people who've made it? Problem solved. This is Local Vibes, small business success stories. Talking to successful small businesses from around America. You'll hear awesome stories about how they got started and how they survived and thrived online and in their communities. We find out their special vibe. Welcome to Local Vibes. Brought to you by UltimateOnlineMarketing.com. Now, here are your hosts, Pat and Angie Cherubini.
All right, let's do this.
Hi, everyone. It's Pat and Angie Cherubini with Local Vibes, where we're talking to small business owners and learning their stories and their successes. And today we have Salena Thrasher, the owner of, I hope I say this right, Tristegus. Is that how you say it?
Very good. I pronounce it Tristegus, but a lot of people say it the way you did too. It's a made-up word, so there's really no right or wrong way to do it.
Well, we need to tell them what it is. I mean, she does.
Well, let's let her tell.
Okay, you tell us.
We'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
What's your origin story? What got you to where you're at to start this business?
Sure. Well, my name is Salena, and Tristegus is my goat's milk soap, notions, lotions business. And the name I made up is a combination of my children's names, which are Tegan and Tristan. And just kind of, we're throwing things out there, see what sounded, good. I wanted something that was going to be unique because I knew I wanted to have my domain name and wanted to try to keep everything in line there using the same name, word, whatever. So I came up with that and I thought, okay, this is made up. Nobody else is going to have this. We're going to be good. And it doesn't, if I decide to change my business around some, I can still use that name because it's not, specific to goat's milk soap or anything like that.
Good idea.
One hint, look it up on Google before you decide on your name.
We have learned especially a one-word domain, they're very hard to find, even if it's made up.
Yeah.
Well, the domain was okay. What I found out with is Tristegus is actually a fish.
Really?
Is it really?
Yes.
Not a goatfish by chance.
No. This is really strange. It's a convict fish. And I guess they're down around Australia type thing. I don't know. Anyway, people around here don't seem to know that, so that's our little secret.
Did not know that.
That is interesting.
So how did that turn into goat milk? Were you born a goat farmer, or is this something that you became?
No. I'm a New York City girl, and Dolly, it's really weird. You know how these stories are so convoluted. But we have some property in Granville, 2 acres, so not a lot. I decided to get chickens. Okay, yeah, we can do that. 2 acres, not a problem. So we got our chickens. Well, one day I went to pick up some more chickens because just can't have a few chickens. You always have to get more.
Of course not. It always starts with chickens.
It is. They're kind of the gateway drug to farming.
They are. We need
so
some.
I went to get some more chickens, and this gentleman had this one little baby goat in a not really a cage, but a stall like thing. And so I got to ask him, I was like, how come he's in here by himself and all this? And he said, well, I had 2 other ones, but I sold them, and he's the last one, and he's probably going to go to the auction.
Aww.
I'm like, No. Well, how much do you want for it?
I know a good
So,
sales pitch when I hear one.
Yep.
yeah. So I went home with chickens and a goat and knew absolutely nothing about goats. So started looking into them. My kids fell in love with them. Then I found out that goats are really not happy being alone. They need another goat. So then I had to find another goat to be his friend, and
And
it's
that's how it started.
And that
that's how
goat
it
made milk,
started.
huh?
They're just like potato chips. You can't have just one.
So then what made you decide to start doing the lotions and the soap and what I use, the shampoo and conditioner from you?
Yes. Well, since I had these goats, I decided to get a female goat. What I happened to have was a dairy breed, so called Nigerian dwarfs, and they have excellent milk, but they're small goats. And um, not to get into it too much, but it's difficult to milk a small goat.
I'm sure.
Gotcha.
If you ever watched Meet the Parents and Milking the Cat, yeah, well, milking a small goat's almost like that.
Gotcha.
So,
The visual.
I've got some
yeah,
one-liners I could say, but I'm going to keep them to myself.
let's keep this family oriented here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that I thought, well, that be neat. I've always liked the idea of trying to eat clean and producing your own um, products. Although I'm not a very good gardener, so that didn't work out too well. So I got more goats so I could have more milk because of and then you end up having, what am I going to do with all this milk? Because there were 4 of us at the house at that time, but still, it was a lot of milk to drink when you've got to milk every day.
Right.
So I tried cheese. My family was like, well, this is good, Mom, but we can't eat this much cheese either. And to sell cheese is just, the government just makes it so difficult, the things you have to have. I mean, I would have needed capital in the millions to be able to meet all the requirements to do that.
Really?
Yeah, and in Ohio, you can't sell raw milk, so I couldn't just sell the milk either.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to think, well, what else can I do? And I really, when I first got them, I said I would not be a goat's milk soap maker because there are so many out there.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine said, have you looked at how many different brands of bread are on the shelf at the grocery store, or how many
Smart
brands
friend.
of toothpaste?
Yeah. How many gas
There's
stations are on every single corner?
right.
Yep.
And, so I decided to give it a try. And of course, family got goat's milk products for Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, anything. And they seemed to like it. So then in Newark, they opened the Canal Market.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this would be a good way to get my feet wet, see if other people like my product, if it is marketable. And so then I believe now this is going to be my 7th year down there.
Really?
Yeah. Our COVID year 2020 kind of got me messed up on how
We're not
many
going to count that
years.
one.
Yeah, see, that one kind of gets thrown out. Yeah. So, and even through that year, um, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. I wasn't eligible for any of that government money you could get for businesses
Mm-hmm.
because my business actually went up during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think part of it was because the market was open and there weren't that many other places for people to go. So they came out, to shop at the market. And people they like my products. They come back and want to buy more, contact me. I'm very easy to buy from because I do have my website.
Yep, we're
Yep,
showing
that's
that now.
Very nice. Very
And
It is
nice.
very nice.
Thank you. This part of it I really like. The actual e-store I don't, so I'm looking to change my provider with this right now, but
Uh-huh.
that's a whole nother story that we're going to talk about
Yeah.
privately. Um, but anyway,
Great
You're
pictures.
yeah.
Are you the photographer?
some of them I
Yes.
did find a local lady. We kind of did a swap of some photos for
Product.
product. She is more a portrait photographer, thing like that. But
She
she
Well,
did a
said
great job.
I'm gonna tell you the
she'd be
truth.
willing to do some.
I haven't really looked into it because I like to just talk and see where it goes. Your stuff looks awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, and I can tell you it is awesome.
That's right. Angie has used it, so
I
we know
use
it's
it.
awesome.
It's hilarious, Salena. I get my shampoo and conditioner from you.
Uh-huh.
I get my regular lotion from a friend of mine that's also a goat farmer.
Oh.
And then, or no, I get my soaps, my soaps for the shower and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And she has liquid soap that I use in the kitchen. And then I have another one that actually I started with first in Tennessee that was a referral to me. And that's my regular body lotion. So I have lotion from 3 separate goat farms.
Yeah.
And I love all of it. All of it. I really love your shampoo and conditioner bars. It's hard to get used to a bar, but it's been the best stuff for my hair.
Wonderful. I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, it is. And I love finding products that I don't have to find packaging for.
Yeah.
And that was even originally I wanted to be really eco-conscious of things, but then I found more and more with the packaging, other than the cost. Of course, now the cost is just
outrageous.
Yeah. If you can even get it.
Right.
So it's been good for me to have some products that didn't have to be put in bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the thought of all that plastic that's not going into landfills and things is, it I'm not quite as green as I'd like to be, but I think as well as with everything, it's a process.
Yep.
I bet you're more green than Johnson & Johnson and all those other big chemical companies that package bars as whatever they call soap.
Yeah. Yes, actually. And that it's funny that you say that, because most of that you buy in the store is not truly soap. It's made with detergents.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand that. I get a lot of people still down at the market that'll be walking past and, ew, bar soap. And I say, what do you think your grandparents used? They didn't have liquid soap in the bottle for the shower and all that. It's just, and you're paying for water. You're already in the shower. You got your own water. You don't need to buy bottled water for the shower.
And we read ingredients. So just, pick up that bar of soap or that bottle of soap and read the ingredients.
Especially when I'm just got over battling cancer. So, I've done so much more digging into, I had a lot of time on my hands. So I did a lot of reading and I did a lot of watching videos. And that's what really got me started into looking at, the goat milk soaps. And then someone actually, I didn't even know about you. A friend of mine suggested you, and she suggested I try it because she knew I was looking for that sort of thing. So I did. And it's just, it's hard to get used to at first, but then it's like, I think my product has lasted me maybe a month and a half or something like that. And I spend way less with you than what I was spending going, into the mall to get a tiny bottle of shampoo and conditioner that once you looked at all the ingredients on the back of them were horrible for me. Absolutely horrible for me.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't really think about that yet. I think they're thinking about it more now.
I think
But,
so too. Yeah. Yeah.
they don't think
And
about that when they pick up that bottle of shampoo or conditioner.
and people have they're thinking a lot more about local also.
Yes.
Buying local, knowing who you're buying things from. Like with the pandemic, the porch drop-offs and
Mhm.
Yeah.
things like that. I mean, I did a lot of that because people weren't getting out. But then, and I still do because it's convenient for
Mhm.
folks. Um, for me just to get their product done up, take it, drop it off on the porch. We don't have to pay the post office for it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as they're close enough, there's not a charge for it either. So
I get mine on Friday. Did you see I ordered?
no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
You didn't even see it?
It must have been not
Last
early
night.
this morning. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I looked early this morning and I didn't see it, but I'll check again.
Yep,
So
I'm in there. So
wonderful,
is
wonderful.
this your kids are obviously grown then, your two
Yes,
boys.
they are. Yeah.
Now, does your husband work with you in the business?
No.
Nope.
I my
Why?
husband, well, he's not a risk taker.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, and it's kind of been one of those, well, I'll show you things,
Mhm.
I can do
Oh,
this.
Hey, nothing wrong with
Um,
that.
he'll help me if I need help taking things to markets, setting up those kind of things. He doesn't help make products. I had a wonderful order from the Toledo Zoo last year at Christmas time, and that was a major
big
scaling
one.
up growing pain.
Mm.
And so I called all hands on deck. I had daughter-in-law, sister,
Really?
husband, everybody in here, either making gift baskets or putting labels on things. And yeah, he was pretty good at the labels. He can put labels on straight. So
Well, that's good. That's good.
So, where did they find you? Do you know? The
The
Toledo
Toledo
Zoo?
Zoo.
yeah, she did a Google search.
Nice.
They were adding a petting zoo, so they were going to have goats, and they decided they wanted to have some goat's milk products in their gift shop, and they wanted to find someone find someone in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Lido, locals, relative term, I guess.
Mhm.
But she found people, sent them emails, asked if they would, if they did wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I sent them like a sample box, a gift box,
Smart.
some of my products, and they reviewed them and they chose me.
Nice.
Nice.
That was very smart. I don't think most people would think of doing that. So that was good. Why did they choose you? Did they ever tell you why they chose
Um,
you over somebody else?
she said my products were great.
Awesome.
And when as we talked more through things, got to be more comfortable with each other, she says, "Believe me, I tried a lot of products, and your products were
Really?
wonderful." So yeah, that was
Did you
a nice pat on the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
did you get a review from her?
I did not,
Oh,
and
Yet.
I need to talk to her and
Selena.
and
Yep,
and
absolutely.
and I was just talking to someone else today about that because they asked me to review their business.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had cards made up with the QR code, and all you have to do is click that, and it took you right to doing a Google review.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I said, I know how important they are from being a small business owner, and I know that I should do them, but I just don't think of it a lot of times. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times I just don't think to ask people to do one for me either.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because
You have to
I wasn't offended or anything with them asking me to do one. And, if I didn't want to do it, I don't have to. But,
You got
to
to make
just
it part of
ask.
your process. You have to ask.
Yep.
Most
Yeah,
people
you
in the
do.
world today with reviews, if you tick somebody off, they're going to leave a review without you asking. But
Right.
if you delight them, they may not tell anybody. So it doesn't ever hurt to
Right.
ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, tell us, how do you go about getting new customers and clients online? Because I know you go to the different markets. Are you at Granville Market too?
I am not. There's a person that's been a long time vendor there, so they won't take another
So you're just at
soap
Newark.
vendor. Yeah.
It's a beautiful one. So how do you do it online?
Not very well, really. I try to do some stuff on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that has been really limited because of only people who already know me pretty much see that. Even I have
Right.
done a couple of ads, but not really gotten a lot from that. It's mostly been either word of mouth
Mm-hmm.
or, from a market or something that I've gone to like that. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you folks because I that's something I know I really need.
It's
And
you hit the nail right on the head. It's the challenge that a lot of business owners don't think about is, when you just have a Facebook page, it it's going to go out to a very small percentage of your friends when you post stuff on
Mhm.
when you post it on your page or your
Mm-hmm.
profile. And
Yeah,
that's the algorithm. That's the fun of
it is.
Facebook.
It is.
Give me
Yep.
money and I'll show it to more people. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Yep. Isn't it that way with
Excuse me.
everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, but
So in general, how's it going now? How's the business doing? You growing? You got some goals you're looking at?
it is growing. It's growing slower than I would like to see, but I have through having the zoo order that I got, I thought, I really need to do some um thinking about how to scale up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always just thought, oh, well, I'll just put in more hours. Well, kind of works, but then you realize, how limiting your space can be,
Yep.
and just getting raw materials in, making
Mm-hmm.
sure that you have enough to fill, the orders that you're getting in a
Right.
timely manner, and yeah, there's just a lot to this business stuff, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Is the zoo a repeat order or was it just a one-time thing?
It has not been a repeat order yet, but they made a huge order. Um, so I really wondered whether, uh, and it's one of those things you don't know, So I think, she was making sure she'd have enough product, to get her through that season.
Right.
But yeah.
And do you have, speaking of that, do you have her in a list? I mean, do you keep like a list that you can email past clients? Do you keep that sort of thing?
I keep that. Yeah.
Good. Very good. Oh, we're showing the
Do
website
do
again.
do
All
I
that on the
email those
bottom. You got a place to subscribe, so you do have a way to get a list. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Most people don't.
But
Yeah.
have you used that list?
No.
And you are now most people.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. I am most people.
Yeah, most people don't use it enough, if at all. And it's
Yeah.
hard. You get so busy working on building your business that you don't have time to work in it. So you flip it and you're always working in your business and you don't have time to work on growing it. So it's
Absolutely. Yes. That's
catch-22.
absolutely it is. It really, really is. And with not having any background at all in doing anything like this, it's all
Mm-hmm.
been learn as I go.
Did you have a
And
mentor?
mm, yes, but she's not local, and
Mhm.
it's just not as easy for me um, to get a hold of her and talk to her. And yeah,
So you
she's in
learned the
Ma
basics?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And, you know, I've bought all sorts of different courses and classes, and I've learned something from each of them, but
Mhm.
it yeah, it's a big but. You know, there's still just so much involved, and like I said, and I'm doing, like you said, both ends. I mean, I'm learning about making my products and learning new products, new ingredients, plus trying to think up things for emails or ads or,
Hmm.
Mhm.
you
It's
know,
never ending, isn't it?
taking care of a herd of goats.
And who'd have thought it just started with that one little goat?
Start with
I
them freaking
know.
chickens.
That's true.
Yeah, it did. It started with the chickens, but yeah, yeah. So fortunately, I did go into ducks, but I got rid of the ducks. Ducks are a whole nother story.
I like ducks.
They're cute and they're very interesting, but they're very dirty.
Are they? Well, I eat
They get
duck eggs because
Yeah.
I'm allergic to chicken eggs, so I have to eat duck
Yes,
eggs.
yes. Yeah, I had a customer that I was separating out all the duck eggs for at one time. But yeah, they just get everything so dirty. It's just yeah.
Really? Good to
Yeah.
know. I'll just always buy them. I won't raise them.
No,
There
I
you
don't think
go.
we're in a neighborhood. I don't think the neighbors would
No.
like chickens
No,
and
no, no.
goats and ducks.
Yeah, you'd probably be better off with chickens, but yeah, that's
So what would you say is your most memorable moment so far that you've had in the business?
well, uh, the most exciting thing was probably getting the uh, account at the Toledo
Big
Zoo.
order.
You know,
Yeah.
having them find me and then accepting my product, as the one that they wanted to sell there. What I really love is when someone like you, Angie, says that, I found your product and it's fitting the needs that I want to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Or because I've got people that are allergic to coconut, and it's
Oh.
very hard to find, especially handmade products without the coconut in it. It's very accessible. It's not as expensive. It does
Mhm.
well, as skincare ingredient. But there's several people out there that are allergic to it.
Huh.
Um, and just to be able to help people with things like that. If somebody would come to me and say, you know, I'm allergic to this, can you help me? Um, yeah, I would do everything I can to find the ingredients to help that person, because it's
Do you
just
make special order soaps then if
I
someone has
do.
an issue?
Yes, I make special order products. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, so um, and that's hard to market also,
Yeah.
because so many different things that it could be.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
But just
but yeah,
having that, I mean, I don't think I saw that on your website though. Just being able, probably that's something good to tell people, even if it's not the thing that you want to tell at the top of your website because you want them to just
right.
go and purchase. That's the easiest part. But even
Uh-huh.
offering that, that's great.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anybody else doing that.
yeah. Well, and there again, that's part of being small.
Hmm.
For one thing, that you can customize things for people.
Nice.
But you told the story about one of your best moments was having a big city zoo finding you. That's
Hmm.
just, we've been talking about that catch 22. If you hadn't put in that work of trying, I mean, I know you've learned something if you're showing up in search engines and you've got a beautiful website and you've got the information they needed to reach out and contact you. So many people think it doesn't really matter. It'll never happen. You would have never, ever gotten in front of the Toledo Zoo and gotten a giant, I'm sure, is that the biggest order you've ever had?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's where that catch-22, you got to put that time in and get the foundation right. So then when the time comes, you can scale.
Right. And that was, she just found me through that Google my business, search, I guess they call it. And I know that I'm lax on that also because, I could update that every day, I guess. And it's pretty much, I've just set it up and left it sit there.
Yeah.
But at least it's there.
A lot either. Yeah. It has to be there. And there's so many people that, even big businesses, we find out all the time, they don't even have it. They haven't claimed it. They haven't put anything. And that's one of, for free, that's for a local business or somebody that's selling products, in my opinion, other than having your own website, that is absolutely mandatory.
Right. And that is one of the things I learned from, one of the, or it was a course I took or what, I don't remember for sure, but, that and all the other things out there. I'm at Yelp, but there was a lot of them I'd never even heard of. Like, just be sure you're listed there.
Yeah.
Just in case.
So we call this podcast Local Vibes. It's about the vibe. We kind of know because we know the city that you live in. It's only 10 miles away from us. But, what is the shop local, eat local, drink local, that local vibe in Granville? What's that like?
I think Granville in general is very much into eco-friendly thing. They very much label readers, things that are unique. Yeah, that's a good question. I should have come up with more.
No, that's fine. It's just we like to see, what the vibe, for the people that aren't from around here, because this goes out everywhere. What's, is it with what happened in the past 2 years? Is the vibe getting better, getting worse? Because everybody, there's towns that are growing, there are towns that are shrinking, and we've talked about this before with Intel coming. Who knows what's going to happen in this area? But
absolutely,
that will change the local vibe.
So it will.
What people think of their local vibes.
Yeah. And I think Granville, prides itself on being a smaller community, a close knit community, and shopping local and, visiting their local merchants, and that most of the businesses in Granville made it through COVID. There were a couple that didn't, and from what I understand, most of that was the employee problem. Just trying to find enough help.
Shortage.
Right.
Yeah,
it's still happening.
It is. Yeah, and I mean the places that are expanding even in Granville, just it tickles me to see them being able to do that. That's, we made it through COVID and we're still growing. We had to move into a bigger spot. I'd love to have a storefront. I really would, but I know that's even more work than what I'm doing now.
Is that a future plan? I mean, is that something that you would like?
It is. It is something that I would truly like to have. We don't have time to go into it, but I have a mega vision for what I want this business to turn into, and not so much just pumping out products. I just a little bit. I've become very aware of the women that are going through drug treatment and rehabilitation, and so many of them have no place to go once they get out. and they go right back with the same people, same environment, and turn around in a year or so, and they're right back in rehab again. And just it
So is
was a
that what
God.
you want it to be about?
Well, yeah, I want it to be about helping them build some self-esteem. I would like to have a place where they can actually come stay. It's Tristegus Healing Homestead is my
Oh,
idea right now, and to actually will have a place set up where we make soaps and things like that. And if they want to help with that, they can help with that. They can help man the store.
that's
That's awesome.
fantastic.
And then just a lot of healing work, to get themselves back on track.
Go
And
for it. That's awesome.
I am. It's just it's slow and it's hard for
Yeah.
me to be patient. But that's my long-term dream for what I would like this company to do.
That's really cool.
That is fantastic. I would never have ever guessed that. Would never have guessed that.
Yeah.
But that would be so neat for them to feel like they had a place that they could stay. They could use quality products. They could help make those quality products and actually
Right.
feel like they're worth something at that point and that they're contributing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
And
nice.
and I'd really like to incorporate the farm into that also. We've seen in so many ways that animals are good for rehab. Just working with them, that connection. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's something there that working with the animal really, really helps.
Yeah.
We have our friends have an Airbnb out here, and it's just a little 2-bedroom Airbnb that's fantastic. There's lots of people that stay, but they have their kids raise goats, or not for 4-H.
4-H.
They showed goats. So
Uh-huh.
they ended up with a couple left over that were right outside the door of the Airbnb. And they kept saying, we think we're going to get rid of these goats, but every single review talks about how awesome it is to have goats outside the door.
So that's what they're known
They
for.
sit on their porch and watch the goats because these people are coming from cities to stay out in the country,
Right.
and
Yes.
they got to keep the goats.
Right. Yeah. And they're, all animals have their own personalities, and have their own quirks and things like that. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. I could waste a lot of time sitting out there watching my goats.
I'm sure. Well,
I got one last question until
okay.
Angie's last question. So for that person that's sitting around, that's got a couple of acres, they're thinking about, I might want a goat. Do you have any advice to give the people that are thinking about starting something like you started?
You have to have more than one. Seriously, they're a herd animal, and your life will be much easier with two than it would be with one. And very strong fences. Plan on putting a lot of money into your fence. And then finding get your goats from someone local that is willing to be a mentor and help you with any questions that you have, because they're being a ruminant, most of us aren't familiar with how their bodies process things, and it is quite different. They can be a very sturdy, healthy animal, and then they could be an animal that will go down really quick.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, that's good. Good advice. Now, what I'm going to do is I ask a question out of my little question box, and it could be of anything.
Random.
So it's just really random, but it's been fun so far. So we're going to do it.
Everyone's been perfect question.
Oh, would you rather visit a big city or the countryside?
Definitely countryside. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
easy.
That was easy
Oh,
for
that was really easy. I much prefer nature over man-made things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like both, but
Nature's way more.
yeah, definitely way more. So are there any questions that you have, or is there, any other advice in terms of, oh, she's gone. Well, unfortunately, we lost connection with Salena just a few moments ago. But
we were on the last question, so that's okay. We want to make sure Salena knows. We'll talk to her again.
We'll put her contact
whatever you
information.
need, Salena. We're going to get this out real quick, and
we'll put your contact information in the
notes.
in the show notes on all the social media that we post this on. So she'll be taken care of. And if anybody wants to get in touch with her, if they want to start a goat farm, or if you're interested in her products, like you heard, I use them. So they're quality products.
Got all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Great website. Check her out. Support local and support people like Salena. We're glad that she offered her time to be with us and talk about her story, which it sounds like there's a lot.
Like we'll have another story.
She's got some big dreams,
she
and
does.
that we love. So,
and we'll have to revisit that. Hopefully,
absolutely, and we're going to do all we can to help her get to those. To
get to that level.
I can't remember what she called it now, but
I know.
But that sounds awesome, and people like that are what the world needs. So. Until next time, do all the stuff that we love you to do, like, subscribe, share,
all that fun stuff.
Reach out if you want interviewed. We got a lot booked, but we need more. And if you know somebody that we should interview,
and it doesn't have to be local to us.
No, local is small business. That's what local means to us. It's not a chain and not a corporation. A big corporation, at least. So until that time, keep the local vibes alive.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Local Vibes Podcast. Brought to you by Ultimate Online Marketing, where we help small business owners like you build the ultimate system that generates more leads, phone calls, and most importantly, more customers. Join our group by going to ultimateonlinemarketing.com/group. There, you'll find live discussions, tips, podcasts, videos, and just plain real talk on how you too can be an ultimate online business. See you next time.
Bye-bye.